Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Again, driver career mode today, episode 5 already, for the Spanish Grand Prix. Last episode we were in Miami, and I give you the time now to check that video out before you see this one, because I can say what we have finished in 3, 2, 1. We finished P13, disappointed because we were P8 after there was a red flag. But we want to learn from that into Spain. And yeah, it's got to be better. We need to score points. And we got some upgrades to the car. So we're gonna do one upgrade now, I think, to the aerodynamics, and if it applies to our car, it will apply before Canada next weekend. And into the weekend we have scored our research points for upgrades, of course, and we go into quali to get ourselves up to the grid, of course, for the race on Sunday. And yeah, that's it. In our first lap we are going to start it now. We do not have the best engine, but that doesn't matter. I think we just can finish the race and disqualifying, and maybe we lose some time at the end of the race, but I don't think so. But now sector 1 is done. The green sector, of course, is our first lap time, so it's always green. And you want to get yourself into Q2. And last race, of course, last qualifying, that didn't happen. We got P18 with the start of P17, but now we have a purple second sector. But of course, we're one of the first people who set a lap time, so I don't think it's gonna be a real purple sector. But we're almost done with the lap. We're crossing the line now for P3, and at the end of the session it is P13. So we're through, and the AlphaTauris, the Williams and Hulkenberg, they aren't through into Q2 now. In Q2 we're gonna set our first lap time at the beginning of the session. Of course, we need to go into the top 10 for Q3, and into the first corner we go. We've got P14 in Q1, of course, but we only set one lap time, so I think we could get up into the top 10. Maybe with one lap, maybe with two, but I think we can go through to Q3 again in this Alfa Romeo. And our first sector was good. Now we're in sector 2, almost going into sector 3. Just a green sector 2, no purple like we did in Q1 while we were doing our lap time. And now no chicane, of course, but two right-handers, two quick right-handers. And we open DRS, crossing the line for now P5. At the end of the session, with only 20 seconds on the clock, we are gonna do another lap, because we're now in P10 and there are people behind who are now in the lap. And I don't want to take a risk that nobody improves that much So we're gonna set our lap time. And now the time is up. So this is our final lap time, and now Norris, I think, is ahead of us. So we need a good lap time, but our first sector wasn't that great in the beginning of the second sector, also not. And we're already 4/10 off. And we gained some time back here, 2/10. But I don't know if we can do it. It's gonna be a top 10 or P11. So we need to have a good sector 3 to get ourselves up into the top 10 to kick Magnussen in the Haas out of Q3. 2/10s down into the final corner, and we gain a lot of time. We're crossing the line, and it's gonna be enough for P9, and we're through. We're not much, but we are through. Bottas P13. No Q3 for him, unfortunately. Let's head into Q3. Into Q3, we're gonna set our first lap time with 9.5 minutes to go. We're gonna start our first lap time in Q3. Let's see what can happen here. And of course, a minimal P10 start now, but we want to get ourselves highest up on the grid as possible. But I think maybe if P7 is maybe the highest, P7 or P8, but we will see what is gonna happen. Now into the next corners onto the straight, and then we're done with sector 2, so almost 2/3 of the lap is already done. We have not the best engine, but it doesn't matter. Now 74% on our TC, but I don't think it's gonna blow up now or in qualify or in the race, sorry. And we're gonna set our first lap time here in Q3, and it's gonna be P9, the slowest lap time for now. And after everyone has set one lap time, it's gonna be the slowest lap time of the session. We're doing another lap time with only 20 seconds on the clock remaining, and we just could push as hard as we could, because if we crash, we're gonna start P10. It doesn't matter, so we need to get ourselves up a bit wide there. We lose some time, but it's gonna be hard. But we're 2/10 up almost on our time, 2/10 quicker. There's just some time there, and we lose almost all our time that we have gained. We lose it there. Still, it's okay. Lap time not really great, because we need to improve. We're almost 4/10 down, and then the Norris was in P6, and here we touched the curb, and our qualifying is over, and it's gotta be P10 on the grid, and let's head into the Sunday.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Norris, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Watson, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Bottas, Stroll, Ocon, Albon, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Nick de Vries. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
And we're gonna start in P10. No grid penalties ahead of us. And what do we gonna get? We are 0.2.
Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
And we're waiting for the lights to go on and start the race. 5 red lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go. We have a good start. Gasly. Also, Leclerc doesn't have the best start. Alonso has an okay getaway, but we have a great getaway from the start. Going into turn 1. And Alonso, we want to get ahead of him. But we are a bit of contact there with Perez because he almost loses his end of the car, and Leclerc has gone through in all of that to P7 to gain some places back after his poor start.
Now for the rest of the race.
But we've gained 2 positions on Alonso and on Gasly, and we're up to P8, and we're inside point position. Of course, we started inside points, but now we're higher up into more points, into the points on the grid, so we can score more points, of course, and maybe we can stay in DRS with Leclerc. Of course, no DRS now because it's the first lap time of the first lap of the race. I'm sorry, and it's gonna be hard because he's in a Ferrari and that's a good car. But he is gonna fight with Perez now. Is he gonna get ahead? I hope so, because of course we have an Alfa Romeo and we are the junior team of Ferrari, kind of. And after what happened a few races ago, we just don't give Alonso any space, because why would we? After what he did in Australia, it's kinda being a rival, but it isn't, because of course Oscar Piastri is our rival, but it feels more like Fernando is our rival, but he is gaining time quickly. Is already
we're seeing a loss of power
into
from the
1 second,
now. Loss of power on the
and
turbo.
we try to stay inside 1 second of Perez to get DRS when you can use it, and not only to attack Perez, but I think we can use it more to defend from Alonso.
Okay,
Again, we
DRS
use
will be
second
enabled
DRS,
this
and I
lap.
think
Use it when you're within
it's the
1
best
second of the car ahead and in the DRS
to
zone.
not for all to use DRS now, but we did it, so yeah. Again, Alonso is outside 1 second of us, 1.3, but I think he's gonna gain the time quickly back. We have a purple lap time of a purple sector, but I think it's because our ERS that we use, and we're almost going to the first DRS zone, and we're inside 1 second of Perez, so we can use it, but Alonso, I don't think he has DRS on us. He's a bit more than 1 second behind us, and we want to stay inside the DRS of Perez to maybe put away from Alonso, but we need to see what is gonna happen. But we make a mistake and we almost crashed into the wall, but we can save it somehow, and Alonso and Piastri now are gaining a lot of time of us on the straight. We're blocking Alonso, and Piastri is almost past us, but he saved it in the third corner, and Leclerc's out of the session. Charles Leclerc's out of the session, and now we're in P7, but unfortunately for Ferrari, Leclerc has an engine failure, and it is going to be hard in the championship, of course, because it's really close. And Ferrari, I think they have a chance to get the constructors and maybe also the drivers. We don't know now, but we have to see that. But for now, that doesn't matter for us. We're in Alfa Romeo, not in Ferrari. And we now have to focus to score some points after the few disappointed races in Saudi Arabia, Australia, and Miami, of course. And we have to score some points because we have only 1 point, and that point we scored in the first race of the season in Bahrain, and no points since then. And now Oscar Piastri is trying to overtake us. We are braking later than him, and we kept the position, and we're still in P7, but I don't think we can get any DRS now of cars ahead, because Perez is already more than 3 seconds ahead of us because of the fighting and of course of my mistake what I made, that Piastri and Alonso are now so close behind. But now Piastri is gonna get DRS on this straight. He has activated now, but this straight is not long enough for a good overtake with DRS. We have to be, I think, 2-3 tenths behind for an overtake. But he was too far away. But we have to see what he can do on this straight. We need a good exit, and Piastri has over DRS now. He is gaining quickly enough. He's going to the inside, and he's leaving room on the outside so we can brake later, and we stay ahead of it for now. And it's gonna get harder and harder. Of course, Piastri is on soft tires, but he's our rival, so we need to get a good result. Well, a good result isn't important with the rival. It's to finish ahead, but if Piastri is in P8, we need to be P7, of course. Minimal to win from him for now in this race. But it's gonna be hard, and if we can let him pass, I think Alonso is gonna fight us, and then he can just drive away. But we're gonna try to defend him here again, going into lap 7 already of this race, and Alonso and Piastri are side by side, and I think Piastri has won it, and yes, he has. And because he had to defend Alonso, he didn't get the opportunity to attack us. So I think we can be P7 for 1 more lap, and we have to defend him again on the start-finish straight, going into lap 8. But it's gonna be hard, of course. Perez has passed Norris now, and already a time ago, I think, and Captain Norris is 4.4 seconds, so I don't think we're gonna finish ahead of both McLarens, but maybe we can finish ahead of Oscar Piastri if we can defend him well. But I don't know if we can defend him the whole race long, and I think he is gonna undercut us. because he's a soft, we're mediums. But at the end of the race, we are the one who is on the softs. But now I think Piastri has passed us, and Alonso almost loses his car on the straight, but Piastri is ahead now of us, and we gonna try to stay within the rest of him to maybe get the overtake back on him. And of course, last race in Miami, we were behind Oscar Piastri, and that was going wrong, and now we're braking, and it's gone wrong again. Again we lose our front wing to the back of the car of Oscar Piastri, and we just broke when we normally are braking, but we have no downforce now, and we're losing time under the lock. Yeah, quickly we're losing time. Now Bottas has passed us. He's now in P10, we're P11, and we have to box because it's
Understood. Stopping this lap.
awful. It's not great again. Again we make a mistake and we lose a lot of time. Not only on this lap but also in the pit lane, because we have to change our front wing. We get an optimal stop, so yeah, you can say that's better, but if you have to change the front wing, nothing is good.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go, go.
We're going out
Perfect job
of the
on the
pits.
turn in there, mate. Looks like a
Well, off the
nice
pit
stop
box.
time. We're happy with that one.
And
Up to speed now.
we
Let's get
can
some heat into those
accelerate
tyres.
again. We're now in P19, overnighting cars. We're lost from the cars who are racing, and it's gonna be terrible. In lap 10, Alonso managed to have boxed, and Alonso is, we have lost a lot of time to him because he was behind before we had the crash with Piastri, and a lap later we are ahead of Albon, now also of Tsunoda, and we brake so late that we also ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, and we're now in P16. We're not lost
Teammate ahead is
anymore,
23.9
but
seconds. They're on fresh mediums.
we're in
They're
hard.
13th place.
They are the medium, so it's gonna be really hard for us now as we go on to lap 13, and we are in the DRS of Stroll, but not for long, because that's a curve. Because of the curve we almost loses our car and we have to save it, and we're outside of 1 second of Stroll, and now I think Hülkenberg can overtake us. And he's already ahead before turn 1, and we have to deal with it, and we have no good pace in our car. And Tsunoda also wants to overtake us now, maybe. He's looking where he can overtake us. And we got him a bit wide there. Tsunoda is on our inside, but now he's behind. But no, he just, I don't know what he has done, but we're into the wall, and Tsunoda, I don't know what he's doing, and there's a red flag. And we get a 5-second time penalty also, because with the collision with Tsunoda. Why? And it's gonna be 10 seconds. We are gonna finish this race when lights out again, but the 10-second time penalty, I don't think we can be higher than P18. Can be at P18 if Tsunoda is behind us, and otherwise we are gonna get P19. Normally we can drive away 10 seconds from a car, not the car behind, I think, but with not much left remaining, almost 7 laps I think, what's remaining, I don't think we can finish ahead of the last car. Now it's Tsunoda, but I don't think we can finish ahead of the last car without a penalty. Because of our penalty. So we are gonna race this, but I don't think it's gonna matter. It's a really disappointing race again, and again there isn't a lot of fun, but we have to deal with it. Bottas is in Q10 now, so he can score points, I think. So that's great for him. Alonso and Norris are fighting now. Well, we are sitting behind to watch them, and we're ahead of Alonso, but every move we made, it doesn't matter how good it is, but we know that it doesn't matter for where we're gonna finish. We're never going to score any points in this race, and yeah, I think it was Tsunoda's fault, but yeah, I don't know, how we get 10 seconds. I checked it, but we get 2 5-second time penalties for the collision with Tsunoda. Tsunoda also has 5 seconds twice, so he's also has 10 seconds, but I don't know why you get 2 times 5 seconds. We're going on to lap 19, where we dived on the inside of Stroll, but we broke our front wing and our race is from bad to worse. And our front wing is broken on the left side and the right side of it. And we're already P19. And yeah, I don't know what we can do now. It's really bad. And we're in last place, and we have to box again, and I'm gonna drive this race, and we're gonna skip towards the end because
we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining.
It disappointed us all again.
They've done it then, a spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Quite simply, a driver is nothing without the team behind them. So, a deserved winner, but we do have to give a shout out to the team in the pit lane and back at the factory. Very much a collaborative process.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
And Lewis Hamilton has won that race, with Verstappen in second and Russell in third, and Bottas has finished in P8, so that's great for him. We're P19, Tsunoda P18 because of the penalties. And in the standings, Bottas is now also in P8. 23 points, and we have only 1 point still. And meanwhile, we are ahead of McLaren. I don't know if it's still ahead of McLaren. I think it is. But McLaren are gaining quickly and they are improving their car. But we have to learn from this again. And yeah, tough race again. But I want to thank you for watching to this video. Leave a like and subscribe, and I see you in the next one, the Canadian Grand Prix, my favorite circuit. I see you guys then. Goodbye.